Okay, what are you doing, Cindy? Great to see you here. Thank you for coming. Sunday morning, it's a beautiful morning here in Beverly Hills, California. Folks, today I'm going to talk to you about Hollywood, okay? And my involvement in things that I do in Hollywood, where I've helped many people out, resolved a lot of problems in my over 50 years in Hollywood. Today I'm going to talk about an actor. He's really a comedian trying to be an actor. His name, I will tell you, is Pete Davidson. Now, folks, do you know Pete Davidson, the comedian? How many of you know who he is? A lot of people don't really know who the guy is, but, he was a fairly well-known comedian trying to be an actor. And that happens a lot. Jim Carrey was a great comedian and a great actor. But he acted in shows about comedy, okay? And you go on, comedian after comedian that became actor. Robin Williams. What kind of movies did he do? Funny movies, okay? But Pete Davidson is trying to be a serious actor. Now, I got a lot of notes here, okay? Yeah, he said on Saturday Night Live, huh? So, folks, let me begin. Somebody from Tommy Pitera, otherwise known as Tommy Karate, who's doing life in prison in Big Sandy, Kentucky. Now I'm going to tell you something. Pete is a real man. He's a man's man. He's a stand-up guy. And his number one concern is family and keeping family together. Now, they reached out to me because Pete asked and wanted to be in touch Tommy wanted Pete Davidson, wanted to talk to him because Pete Davidson's going to try and portray Tommy off of a book that the only thing in the entire book that they got correct about Tommy is they spelled his name correctly. Okay? Folks, I reached out to Pete Davidson through his representatives. And I'm going to tell you, in Hollywood today, folks, all right? In Hollywood today, these agents and managers, they think they're above the whole freaking world. They can't pick up the phone and call you. No, that's beneath them, okay? That's why this town is crashing, okay? But let's get on with it. A book was written by an author named Philip Carlo. The book is called The Butcher. It became a New York Times bestseller. Philip Carlo, he written several books. Now, I only read one of his books, and that book was Kulinski. Remember the guy? I think he died recently in prison. Okay? But when I read that book, folks, you know, I was in the life. I know how it works. I know the rules, the regulation, the political side of it. Folks, you can rest assured we do not hire hitmen to go out and do our work. We don't do that. We don't pay for that. Because if you are involved in the life, you get that call at 4 a.m. in the morning. Meet me at the diner. You go to the diner. First of all, you answer your phone. Secondly, you get instructions to meet someplace, you better go. Because if you don't, you're in a lot of shit trouble. Trust me. You go there, okay, and you get the order. You don't get no money, okay? Yeah, you gotta go out, you gotta take care of Bobby, okay? And guess what? You go out and you take care of it. You don't get paid for it. You might in another way, you know, you get elevated and different things that could happen. But folks, when I read that book about Kalinsky, I knew it was all bullshit. Now, this Phil Carlo did a great job. He's written a lot of books, okay? But they're not biographies. I want you to know that. They're not a biography. It's not that Tommy wrote the book, because he didn't. Philip Carlo, never went and talked to Tommy. Well, God damn it, if you want to write about somebody, go meet him, okay? And they call him a true crime reporter. Folks, he's a crime reporter, but not true crime. Unfortunately, Phil Carlo passed away, got that Lou Gehrig disease, and he was fairly young when he passed away, okay? Folks, please, I gotta tell you, you come in here, please subscribe, like, help me out in any way that you can so that I could build this channel up each and every day, okay? Oh boy, I'm still drinking my coffee here today. So now, Tommy Karate Pitera. I don't know him, but I feel like I do know him. I never met him, but I feel like he's one of my best friends. Okay, look, Tommy's done some bad things, no question about it. Okay, and remember, he was a skipper in the Bonanno family, so they say. Okay, who are these? They say this, they say that. Okay, God damn it, people say so much about people they don't know, never met. All right? A skipper, Mandy, is a captain in the crime family. Okay? Right? But let's see now. Let me get my notes. I been doing a lot of researching right up to the minute. All right? Right up to the minute of doing the show today. Okay? Okay, the primary books about Richard the Iceman Kalinsky were written by, there they go, they say, true crime reporter. Stop calling him a true crime reporter. He didn't interview nobody. What he wrote is what he thought, what he made up. Yeah, he was a creative guy. He wrote a lot of books and they become bestsellers. Okay? You can't take that away from them. But they're not true crime. And that's what pisses me off. All right? So, get rid of that one. We're going to talk about, and then I'm going to get to how the family reached out to me and what I did. All right? Philip Carl was born in 1949, passed away in 2010. Okay? And here again, this is his Wikipedia page. Okay? You gotta lie to get a fucking Wikipedia page. Okay? They keep asking me for money. I had a Wikipedia. They took me down. Okay? Because they're so old-fashioned on Wikipedia, they only go by stuff that's printed in magazines or newspapers. Okay? Nothing about social media. That's how antiquated it is, Wikipedia. All right? Journalist and best-selling biographer of Tommy Pitera. No, he was not the biographer. That's false. He never met Tommy Pitera. Oh, he could have. If he was a real good journalist, he would have wrote Tommy, got on Tommy's visiting list, and gone and visit him. That's what you do when somebody's in prison. Okay? So, I better keep this because tonight I'm going to be on TikTok. I'm doing another show about this because, folks, I'm taking this in my own hands because I am pissed off. The family of Tommy Pitera reached out to me. Tommy wanted to talk with Pete Davidson. Now, I'm going to tell you, if this were me, I would have laid a lawsuit on that movie and got a cease and desist just like that. Stop this movie. Because it's all false. But I believe they're filming it right now. I don't know where. I don't really care where. It's not a movie that I'm going to go see. That's for sure. Okay? Pete Davidson, for some reason, has a passion about Tommy Pitera. Okay? And I'm going to tell you some things in that book, The Butcher. They claim that Tommy unalived over 60 people. But guess how many names? See? Guess how many names they mention in that book? 0. So you want to say this guy unalived 60 people? You can't name one of them? Then they say that he used to dress up like a woman, all right, and do sexual things to lure somebody in. Holy shit. That Carlo had a hell of an imagination because that never happened. So, folks, I reached out to Tommy, Pete Davidson, and his manager got back to us. She's in New York. All we wanted, Pete was too busy to go to Big Sandy. So he said, wait a minute, you want to play this guy, you got a passion to play this guy, and you're too fucking busy, all right, to get on a plane and go visit him? Because any actor that's going to portray anybody in a Hollywood movie, and I'll name them here for you in a moment, okay? They go visit the person. They want to see the individual that they're going to portray. Me, I do this with my finger. They want to see those things. They want to pick up how I move, how I talk, okay, how I walk. They want to pick up all that. That's what a good actor does. Oh, no, not Pete Davidson, okay? Oh, he's bigger than that. Nah, he's just another piece of, okay, folks, I dealt with actors and actresses in this town, okay? Some are very good people, especially the old-timers. Today, they got this ego. They think they're above you, okay? They're not. Put their pants on the same way I do, one leg at a time. And I let them know that. So I don't give a shit who they are. All right, George Clooney, De Niro, I don't care. Okay? I treat everybody the same. I don't know why other people can't do that. Well, let's see what kind of education Pete Davidson has, okay? Because any good actor, and you've heard me say this before, they study their craft. Study their craft. Let's talk about Pete Davidson, okay? Pete Davidson did not go to acting or theater school. He attended Xavier High School and briefly enrolled in St. Francis College in Brooklyn before dropping out after one semester to focus on his stand-up comedy and television career. No acting. And he wants to call himself an actor. Now I talk to you about an actor that I do know. Okay? His name is Tom Hardy. You know when Tom Hardy got his start, folks? It was a movie that I had some involvement in called Bronson. And I gotta tell you, I was over in London. Now, Charlie, let me tell you who Charlie Bronson is. He's been in prison for over 50 years over in London. He never unalived nobody, didn't hurt nobody for a robbery. But while in prison, hey, look at you in a lot of fights. Well, you got to when you're in prison. You got to defend yourself. And he happens to be a tough guy, okay? I mean, he's strong. He was a boxer, okay? Charlie's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. I know you people think I'm nuts because I say these people are some of the nicest people you ever want to meet because I know them. They're good people, okay? So, it was a night of drinking. You go to England, you got to drink, okay? All right, my friends could drink, and I don't know why. I don't drink over here, but I go to London, and boy, I start drinking. And I stick right up there with all those guys, okay? But So after we're out at the pubs over there in London, then we go to Joey's house. He lived in Surrey at the time, which, by the way, is where Tom Hardy lives. Okay, and Joey says, "All right, you gotta go watch this video." And I go and I watch this video, and folks, and I go back, Joey, how the hell did Charlie do that video? I said, how did he do that in prison? I said, that's amazing. He said, oi, that's not Charlie. That's Tom Hardy. I said, who's Tom Hardy? I didn't know Tom Hardy at that time. I said, holy shit, I thought it was really Charlie. Okay? Let's talk about Tom Hardy. He's formerly trained actor. He began his studies at the Richmond Drama School in London before gaining entry to the prestigious Drama Centre, London, which is now part of Central St. Martin's. While his time at drama school helped shape his craft, he famously modeled his acting on his hero, Gary Oldman. It was a rather turbulent experience. Hardy was eventually expelled from the Drama Center prior to finishing his study, but he went on to build a highly successful career. Wait, I got more on Tom. Where are you? Okay. Oh, where is Tom? Okay. Forgive me, folks. Okay? You see, I got so much research I did here. Okay? Okay. Oh, here we go. Right there, I had it, right? Tom Hardy's critical breakthrough and big screen transformation was his intense starring role as the infamous British prisoner Michael Gordon Peterson. Okay, see, Charlie Bronson, his real name is Michael Gordon Peterson. In the 2008 biographical crime film Bronson, this critically acclaimed performance ultimately paved the way for his Hollywood blockbuster role in films like Inception and Mad Max, Fury Road, Peaky Blinder. You go on and on and on. Tom Hardy is a real actor. He's a serious actor. He studied his craft. Do you know what he did for this role? To play Bronson? He went and visited Charlie in prison over in London. Not once, not twice, but several times. Several times. And to this day, they still talk on the telephone. That's what a real actor does. But Pete Davidson's above it. And his managers are above it. Now let me tell you about the family of Tommy Pitera. And folks, this is a tight-knit family. They believe in doing the right thing. They believe in love. They're not out to hurt nobody. Okay? All they wanted was a simple thing to give Pete the opportunity to meet Tommy. And then we thought that was going to happen with his manager in New York. And she said, well, we'll have to put some paperwork together. Oh, it's just a simple thing, all right? Provide the family with Pete's phone number, so they give it to Tommy. Tommy can get Pete on his calling list and call him. That's all it was. Simple, right? Guess what they did? They sent documents that you won't believe. They sent documents trying to get Tommy's rights. They didn't offer no money. They wanted his right. Well, they're not going to get it. Okay? Now, why did they do that? Why? Think about everything I told you so far. Okay? You see, they got together with Carlo's wife, okay? I'll tell you about her in a moment, okay? Nice gal. Because she inherited what her husband left. And she's the one who had the rights to sell the books. And she had a hell of a life too, okay? We'll get to that in a moment, okay? The reason, folks, you think about it, because you got to put on your legal mindset here, all right? Because they know the book is bullshit. And this is their way of trying to come in and get the rights from Tommy. You see what they try to do? Bring it under the table and try to bulldoze over you. All right? Because they know the book is bullshit. But yet they're going to allow it. Look at folks, it's not going to be a big budget movie. It's $9 million. All right? Pete raised the money himself, from what I know so far. All right? So now I told you about Tom Hardy, right? Let's talk about Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is going to play Greg Scarpa in a movie, okay? We all know Mark Wahlberg. Now, Mark Wahlberg was a rapper. Here again, he's not somebody who went to drama school. He's self-taught. He studies, he watches, he looks, watches movie after movie after movie. Guess what he did? He's going to portray Greg Scarpa, the Grim Reaper. Wow. Greg is no longer with us. But he visited with Greg Scarpa Jr., which is the closest thing to Greg Scarpa. Okay? He wants to see the family. He wants to see how they move, how they act. You understand what it takes to be an actor? You just don't go up and walk on stage and start acting. No. Somebody asked me to ever work for Al Capone. Come on, I'm old, but not that old. So, Mark Wahlberg, every single actor you see portraying somebody else, okay? They go and study who they're going to play. But not Pete Davidson. He thinks he knows it all. Look at, in my opinion, he's not the greatest comedian out there. He certainly knows Sebastian Maniscalco, who I happen to personally know, okay? Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that. All right? And Mark said, Pete is a clown. I think you're giving him too much credit there. Folks, and I'm disappointed. I'm pissed off. Hopefully someday I'll run into Pete, whether it's in a nightclub, a restaurant, or whatever. Okay? He lives in Staten Island. All right? But someday he'll be someplace you could bet I'm going to go and put my face in front of him. All right? You watch how his attitude changes. Okay? Too busy. Okay? And then his manager and their lawyer try to get Tommy's rights. What the fuck? Because they know the book is bullshit. Every goddamn word of it. Yeah, am I pissed? You tell I'm pissed. Let's talk about Pete Davidson's movie career. Oh, wait till you hear this one, folks. How many of you have ever seen Pete Davidson in a movie? Huh? Come on, leave me a comment. Let me know how many of you. Okay? You ever see the movie? I bet you didn't. The King of Staten Island, 2020, 6 years ago. Pete Davidson wrote it. He wrote it. And he acted in it. All right, the King of Staten Island. I never heard of it till I did my research. You know, Universal did that picture. Folks, I know everybody here. I know you're all smart people. Okay? This is simple math to figure out. Okay? The budget on the movie was $35 million. $35 million. Folks, that's a lot of money. $35 million. Guess what it did at the box office worldwide. I hope you're sitting down, because you're not going to believe it. $2.2 million. $2.2 million on a film that cost $35 million to make. Well, now I can see why no studio is doing this movie. No streamer is doing this movie, because they look at stuff like this. They know Pete Davis is not an actor. They know that. All right? Hollywood ain't stupid. You think they're going to put good money at their back? No. They're not going to do that. So they know Pete Davidson don't bring in the money. Now, let me tell you about what brings in the money. That was worldwide, $2.2 million. Okay? My dear friend George Gale did a movie called Comeback Trail. It was #1 on Paramount Plus. It's on Amazon. You can watch it anywhere you want. It stars Robert De Niro, Tommy Lee, Morgan Freeman, Eddie Griffith, another friend of mine. Okay? Great actors. The budget was $25 million. Okay? 25 million. But folks, they filmed it in New Mexico and they got $7 million tax credit because they had De Niro and Tommy Lee and Morgan Freeman international sales rights. They got 15 million. That means they got $22 million back before shooting on day one. 22 million out of 25. Okay? You see, folks, how the math works? How these, depending who you have in the picture, of how much they could bring you just from international sales. So now, folks, I'm giving you a little lesson here. All right? Do I know what I'm talking about the movie industry? Huh? Do you think I do? Go ahead. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about well, let's talk about the informants, okay, against Tommy. Every one of them lied. Every one of them. And that truth came out. All right? Yeah, let me tell you what pisses me off about a guy like Carlo. And unfortunately, he's no longer here to defend himself. Okay? He wrote a book without getting true facts, number one. He wrote a book and he got his publisher to publish it. Not taking into consideration what's really going on with Tommy Pitera. Okay? He's been in prison for 36 years. He was set up by the Department of Justice and informants. Yeah, well, that's what they do. Okay? That's what they do. They lie. They don't like you, put you in prison. Throw the key away. Okay, you think they give a shit? We live in the United States of America. All right, they call us the land of the free, home of the brave. No, they put the brave in prison. Okay? Pathetic. The United States is 5% of the entire world's population. Let me repeat that again, folks. The United States is 5% of the world's population. But yet, the United States houses 25% of the world's inmates. Did you hear that? 25% of all the inmates in the world are housed here in our country, the United States of America. So you understand, folks? Our prison's not our place to go and teach people to become better citizens. You're nothing but a dollar sign on the head of the Bureau of Prisons. Okay? That's all you are. You could bet people own stocks. We got private prisons. Some of the biggest stocks doing very well. Okay? That's why our country wants to keep people in prison. Okay? Because I'm giving you true facts. I don't come here and lie. If I lied to you folks, I'd have 10 million followers. Yeah. You gotta lie to be on social media to get followers and all that there. Take it. Take all those rats you got out there. Take it. Look at them. They put people in jail. They kill people. They put others in jail. They get away with it. Now let's talk about Philip Carlo's wife. Okay? Her name is Lorraine Garofalo. I don't know personally know her. I got friends who do know her. They say she's a nice woman. Okay? And I believe that. Okay? She ended up owning the rights. She sold it. Okay? But she happens to be the daughter of Eddie Garofalo. Okay? Who is Eddie Garofalo? You don't know, right? I want to tell you, too. God damn it. How come I don't have my papers organized? Yeah, I saw somebody wrote. Damn, where the frick is it? Am I losing my head? Davidson, they can't. Fill in looking. Here we go, right here. Okay? Who do you think ordered the hit on Lorraine Garofalo's father? I'm going to give you 3 guesses. Who do you think is the biggest rat that's out there on YouTube? Come on. Are you folks into that gangster genre with all those liars? All right. Sammy Gravano. And listen to this, folks. Sources say Gravano, then the underboss of the Gambino crime family headed by John Gotti, became paranoid and suspected Garofalo of becoming a government informant. Suspected. No proof. I don't know where this Eddie Garofalo ever informed anything. So maybe they know, I don't know, okay? I don't know. But they kill or unalive somebody because they suspect he's going to be an informant. Well, needless to say, they did. Okay, the guy that did the shooting under Gravano's order was Danny Fama and 2 others that carried out the hit. And Fama has been charged with that there. Laura Garofalo, or daughter of the victim, wants to know why justice took so long when the government had sworn testimony from 2 of the other participants, identifying Fama. I feel sorry for you, Laura. I can understand. Okay? That's the kind of guy Samuel was. He was powerful. He was the underboss. But yet, you suspect somebody of being an informant? No. He should have been unalive for his actions that he did. Because folks, you gotta have proof that somebody did. That's the way I believe. That's the way Sonny Francis told me. You gotta have the proof. Okay? Now, Johnny, you live in the same neighborhood as Sammy. Huh? Hi, Jennifer. Turntable, good morning to you. Hey, folks, you know what? You see, I'm not even asking you, because I know it's Sunday, you're lazy, and hitting that like button, it must be so much hard work. Oh, I feel sorry for you that you can't hit that like button, okay? I don't even know why the hell I come on here for, all right? A few of you appreciate me. But folks, if I started lying, I'd have so many people following me. I wouldn't know what to do. But you're not gonna get no lies from Ori Spado. You're gonna get the truth. You're gonna get the facts. And you watch and see, okay? From all indications that I see, this movie with Pete Davidson will be a failure, okay? First of all, Pete Davidson's name is not big enough to bring in international distribution. It's going to be an independent film. Once they got that film in the can, more than likely, they'll try to sell it to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Apple, one of those there. All right? $9 million, they got $9 million in. They might get 10 or 11 million, and they still make a few bucks. Okay? Nothing big. Nothing big. Well, we will see. You never know what's going to happen in Hollywood. So for those of you on TikTok, 3 o'clock this afternoon, Pacific Coast time, 6 p.m. East Coast time, you'll see me on TikTok. Everybody have a great day. God bless you all. And as usual, all my love and respect to all of you. And Pete Davidson, I hope you watch this. And remember the name, Ori Spado, because this will not be the last that you're going to hear about me. Take care.